Virgo, hi, and welcome to your February overly thematic reading. This is for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, if you are new to this channel, you just clicked because you just felt compelled to. There's a reason that you were brought here, and so I hope you hear all that you need at this time, okay? I typically do a 9-card spread for those that are new to this channel when it comes to the overly thematic reading. However, this month I wanted to do something different, also because we are in Aquarius season. You know, I'm just allowing things to be. I don't know the answer. I'm just going to be the open conduit and channel for spirit. I don't know what's going to happen through this reading, but we will work with it and get to it as it comes, okay? So coming into the first week of February, what came out already for you guys was the 2 of Coins, followed by the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. Okay, Taurus energy talks about the second house as well. I feel like that might be highlighted this month for you guys. Material possessions, as well as work, as well as money, as well as income, as well as your daily routines. I feel like you guys are really going to be looking over those things in the month of February, okay? And the effect that it is having on you, positive, negative, or neutral, so you can see where you might need to improve your life, like what you can do to enhance it, you know, to get out of certain situations and or certain habits, and or to enhance your creativity. But I do feel like if you were intentional about the eclipse that we just had, the full moon in Leo, right, the blood moon, then you can start to feel that surge of energy within as far as wanting to be more creative, and the next medium that you might use to express your creative abilities. You know what I mean? You have the Hierophant here, which is higher learning, a teacher, really. This is somewhat opening Pandora's box, so you might be on a quest for some knowledge, right? Seeking answers to those more philosophical questions that the ordinary person might not be able to answer for you, right? That your therapist might not be able to help you through. Okay, so you might be doing your own research in the month of February, and there's nothing wrong with that. What came out next was the Page of Wands and the 7 of Coins. This is really putting the action behind the goals, right? The action behind, again, the areas that you need to improve upon, as I was saying, right? Further confirmation for that as far as your work, as far as your income and your material possessions, and the emphasis that you place on those or the lack thereof in those areas, as well as the daily routines. What works for you? What might you need to tweak a little bit in the month of February here with this 7 of Coins energy? Take advantage of that fully, you know, cut out those weeds so that the things that you are trying to cultivate can continue to grow in a healthy space. Replant things, maybe if you need to buy some plants that are really good with cleaning the atmosphere and with bringing in luck if you need it, because there are certain plants that are really tailored to that. I do believe the bonsai tree is one of those trees that can bring luck and prosperity into your home, given that you are intentional about the way that you're doing it as well. You know what I mean? It's all about the intention that you set. But with this Wands energy that is here, you definitely are fired up, okay, and you are really wanting to act on and are really enthusiastic about these new changes, right? These new opportunities that you invite into your space by clearing out the old, right? Getting rid of the junk. If you really eclipsed those past pains and traumas and people that you were thinking about or ruminating over, that you were having a hard time gaining closure with, over the past few weeks with the eclipses and with that blood moon in Leo, okay? So if you did the work with that energy, or by the time that you see this video you are working on overcoming those energies, then there can be much optimism and enthusiasm and drive that can go towards what it is that you're trying to achieve or acquire next, okay, in this next phase. It can also be some issues with self-consciousness, like you're self-conscious. And so that might be something that you're really working on towards the middle of the month of February, okay? What came out next was the Page of Cups and the Four of Swords. Having to take time and recuperate, because when you upheave things that are really heavy on an emotional level, it can take a toll and it can deplete you energetically, and so you don't have the motivation to get out of bed or move as fast, you know, because this is what some of you might really be dealing with. You're still trying to get over the energy of the losses and the pains that you have experienced in this previous season. But you know, it's really only to make you a stronger person, to toughen up your skin a little bit. But I do also feel like for some of you guys with this Page of Cups, you need to learn how to be a little bit more sensitive without being a crybaby, and having that healthy balance, okay, with honoring your feelings as well with the Page of Cups, with healing your inner child. You really have to do that. You can't, especially if you are a male watching this video, you can't just rely on the more dominant aspects of your personality and neglect the more feminine, the yin parts of who you are, with being able to be nurturing, with being able to be understanding and forgiving, okay? People are really a reflection of you. So if you are always hard and you are unforgiving, you're going to mirror that out, and people are going to act like that towards you as well. So don't harbor any hard feelings, you know, no hard feelings, okay? No blood, no foul. Live by that and just proceed forward. And just also just honor your gut instincts. Don't neglect your intuition. Although you guys are earth signs, and the way that you interpret things that are intuitive, it is different, but nonetheless, it is you really listening to your higher guidance. If you feel like something is like, oh, I have a bad feeling about this, somebody's giving a bad vibe, that is your intuition trying to tell you something. So pay attention to that in the month of February as well. But again, when things are feeling just a little bit heavy emotionally, don't deprive yourself of space and being able to breathe, you know, and being able to, again, recuperate and take a rest. Make sure that you give yourself at least 5 minutes a day where you sit alone and there is no sound. You're not watching TV, you're not escaping through music, you know, you're not drinking, you're not eating, you're not doing anything but sitting in a corner somewhere, sitting in your room somewhere, whatever you perceive to be a safe space, wherever you go when you're having a bad day. If it's at the top of a mountain that you hike on a regular basis, you know, if it's just sitting in your car, because that brings you comfort. It's going where your comfort zone is and being able to sit in that space again and just honor the silence and just be one with your thoughts, so that you can also just slow down and organize them as well, okay? So that's what's coming through. Let me see if there's one more message. When you do that, when you get by yourself and you get alone and you have time to also think about the questions that you have, very Freudian energy. I do believe Freud was the one who would lay down, because I think he was, I'm not sure if it was Freud or if it was Locke who I'm thinking of, But the way they came to their aha moments and the way that they were able to even have the philosophical questions where you can't ever have an answer because it's met with another question, they did that by being able to lay down and think for themselves, you know, being out of that groupthink mentality and just going along with what everybody else wants to have makes sense. But that doesn't really make logical, practical sense if you think about it, you know. But it's because that's what they've been fed, that's what they've been conditioned to believe. And so because there's a large group of people saying, yeah, this is truth, they'll accept that instead of thinking about it a little bit more and coming to a different answer or having a better solution to a problem. You know what I mean? So you can do that when you are sitting by yourself. So honoring those breaths and having that alone time and having that space, even if you are a family man or a family woman, you still need to have those minutes to yourself. So when you're taking a shower, that's your 5 minutes. If you are reading a book, that's your 5 minutes. But again, not really having those distractions and being able to sit in silence will allow you to reach a point of enlightenment. Kundalini awakening, meditating will also help you get there. If you feel like there are other distractions going on in your life and you don't really have the time, you're not really making the time, then that can help with that. Learning how to meditate, you know, doing yoga, being in that flow, doing vinyasa type yoga, that can help because you're there to focus on the breath. You're not there to think about anything else. Okay? So yeah, you do have the Hangman here. This is the pinnacle of wisdom. This is also getting over any issues of self-sabotage by way of self-sacrificing too much. Okay? This is also putting yourself in a bind by being too indecisive and learning how to overcome that by just making a decision and learning that there is no wrong choice. If it doesn't work out, then you have the opportunity to go with the other choice that you had in mind. Okay? You can always go back and start again. Okay? You can always just abandon what it is that you're working on and do something else that is more fulfilling. You always have that opportunity. You're never really stuck, except for in the mind. And that is what traps you. So being able to free that in the month of February, you guys are really going to be working on that, and that is really positive and that's really big for you guys. Okay, now as far as your chakras are concerned, I have your heart chakra, your root chakra here, the throat chakra as well, and I'm seeing little slivers of the solar plexus, so do get that into alignment. If what I said did resonate for you guys, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, do subscribe for more, and if you would like to elaborate on these energies and what it is that you're going through in this current moment and space that you reside in, you can definitely book a private reading with me. I will leave my email here as well as in the description box for you guys at your discretion. Okay, and that's really it. So until I speak to you guys again, do take care of yourselves, okay? Ciao.